Ladies and gentlemen, please put all your children in their boxes and put the
Return them.
boxes in the room and put the room in storage and put the storage in the attic and the attic in the storage elsewhere. Thank you. This is the Shut Your Mouth Lounge episode 289, I think.
Yes.
I am Pink.
And I'm red.
Well, I'm
And I'm not so
I'm
pink.
a little bit tan. That is Addie the hero, the lovely progenitor of this podcast. I am the leech upon this channel. Alex is not here. We don't know where he is.
Who truly is the leech? Then
It's good point. Good point. We don't know where Alex is. His locator, his GPS navigator, is broken, disabled.
yeah,
He's hiding from
it's
us.
telling us that he's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. But
Right. But that can't be right. Well, maybe it could. You know, he's closer to the Atlantic than he is the Pacific. We'll find him eventually.
yeah,
He
I
might
mean,
pop in.
we don't have a cause for alarm yet, because the locator isn't showing us that he's near the Titanic.
True.
So until that happens,
As far as we are aware, he has not boarded any sketchy submarines. So you know, there's hope for him yet.
yeah,
There's hope. Anyway, now that we've got all that squared away, you know, we got the title of this podcast, we've got the number, the episodic number, we've got the introductions out of the way, and we've explained Alex's absence. So I suppose we can real quick hit off what we've got coming out on our channels this week,
yeah.
starting with yours truly on my channel. I really need to clear my throat, but I can't. It feels like there's something back there, but there's not, so I'll ignore it. Coming out of my channel this week, there's going to be, as per the usual, WWE 2K23, continuing the NXT Universe mode. There's probably going to be the WCW Universe coming out as well, which got delayed because I realized I needed to download pay-per-view shows for that to happen without... I'm very finicky with how I present
Yeah.
things. So to have WCW Universe, but then have the PLEs on like actual WWE shows I didn't like, so I had to put a delay on that recording, but now I've got some Universe Arenas downloaded, so that will be I'll be able to set things up the way I want it to, so now I can actually start releasing those episodes. Plenty of NXT though coming out because I've recorded a lot of that. Gladius, I've got coming. No, do I have Gladius? I think I've got one more thing of Gladius coming out, and then that should be it. Unless I start my own solo playthrough or play with Alex again, which I really need to do in the future. Um, Street Fighter, I think I've got coming out as well. There's probably just gonna be a lot of Street Fighter sprinkled in with all the 2K23 stuff going forward.
Yeah.
Um,
It depends on how long you stick with it.
yeah. Because I still need to hop back in ranked and get all my characters in their, rookie one
Yeah.
phases.
Speaking of things, I'm not sure if you noticed, but random has its own rank.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not notice. Oh, that's sweet.
And
I
not
like it.
yeah, and not only that, but also you when we last played Street Fighter 6, we asked if you can disable certain stages from the random rotation. I figured out that you can, which is nice. We don't have to look at
Excellent.
the training stage anymore.
Excellent. Training stage will be disabled. I will never look upon that sheer horror ever again.
Yes.
I like it. But yeah, that should wrap things up for my end on my channel.
Well, for my channel, uh, nothing on the main channel. I haven't been able to work on anything, and just judging by the fact that it took me 4 months to do a month's work for the last video, even if I could actually put in a month's work immediately, it would still take a month. That's kind of how time works.
Just a bit.
So yeah. Then on my second channel, there's probably something coming out on Friday. I don't actually know, but there's probably something coming out on Friday.
All right.
And as for the group channel, this week I started to put into effect a new scheduling strategy, which is just throw shit up.
Nice.
There's a video coming out every day of the week for the next week.
Oh,
Next
very
2
nice.
weeks, possibly, technically.
I like it.
But yeah, so on Monday, you have Katamari. Then, I don't know the days of the week. Wow, whatever. After that, you have Alex's birthday special. It took a while.
The what special?
Alex's birthday special.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, W wanted me to put those up as 2 separate videos. I didn't. Because, we did both of those things to celebrate his birthday, so they're one video.
Understandable.
That makes sense to me. Anyway, after that, you have Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, the first part.
Who's playing Dark Souls 2?
I am.
Ah.
After that, we have a short coming out. It's been a month since the last one. And this one isn't that funny, but whatever. It's a clip from when we last played Street Fighter 6 with Pink, which won't get released potentially for another 2 weeks, maybe more. Either which way. After that, on Friday, we have CVS Chaos, or whatever, SVC Chaos, which is a fighting game. The first part of it. Yes. And then on Saturday, we have either the time that we played Street Fighter 6, or if W sends me the footage, then we all of us played together. But if not, then it's when the two of us played Street Fighter 6 together last time.
Ah, excellent.
So yeah, that's your week.
I like it.
So Pink, what have you done?
Yeah. What have I done? Let's see. What have I done? Trying to think. Well, first of all, this is a thing that most recently comes to memory. I started playing Mario Kart a little while ago again because I've not played Mario Kart since October, November, sometime last year, and a whole like DLC wave of their season pass whatever thing came out that introduced a couple new cups and Birdo as a playable character, so that's pretty radical. I love me some Birdo. Couldn't believe she was excluded for so long. It's been 7 years. The heartache. But yes, there's gonna be a new Mario Kart 8 DLC dropping in the next week, I want to say. And so, in preparation of that, I figured I'd go back and play all the DLC that I didn't play, because I'm a loser, and had a lot of fun. It's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's 8 but deluxe, so it's always a good time. Good time with your siblings. Making people hate you.
Yeah.
Uh,
You using your head copy, so you, player 1, always get the blue shell.
Yes, truly.
Regardless of where you are, which you think that would be really broken, except for the times when you're in first place.
Oh yeah. If you're in first place and you've got the blue shell literally cannot spawn in any other item box, so it actually works out. But yes, the new cups that released several months ago that I hadn't played yet were the Fruit Cup and Boomerang Cup, which dropped in. I've got the wiki open right now. All right, so the last wave I played would have been Wave 3 in December of 2022, which was Rock Cup and Moon Cup. So I did play those. So I did play at some point in December, but that's about around the time where I stopped playing Mario Kart, because I definitely don't have as much experience with the maps with the courses on those cups, and I had not played any cup in Wave 4, which released on March 9th of 2023. I didn't even know it dropped in March of 2023. So yeah. The new cups are the Fruit Cup, which includes a Mario Kart Tour map called Amsterdam Drift, a Game Boy Advance Cup map course. I might have said Cup earlier when I was referring to course. Game Boy Advance Riverside Park, new map in the Fruit Cup, as well as DK Summit from Mario Kart Wii, and a brand new course, Yoshi's Island, which takes inspiration almost entirely from Super Mario World Tour, Super Mario World Tour, Super Mario World 2,
Yeah,
Yoshi's Island.
it was real weird when we had all of those adventure games with the mascots. We had Sonic Adventure, we had Super Mario World Tour,
Right.
we had fucking Crash Bandicoot Worldwide.
Like Pitbull?
Yeah, except that wasn't just that wasn't the location descriptor. It was just a descriptor for Crash. He was as wide as the world.
That is quite a large crash. And yeah, the Fruit Cup was alright. I was not a fan of Amsterdam Drift, but a key thing about all these new maps that they've got coming out is I have not played a Mario Kart Tour map that I've liked at all until well, I'll get to it later on. So Amsterdam Drift I didn't like. It was alright. It's a standard World Tour map, and I just don't like those for the most part. Riverside Park was okay, but it's a Game Boy Advance map, and let's be honest, nobody actually really likes those maps unless they played the Game Boy Advance Mario Kart for that sweet nostalgia. Because every Game Boy Advance, map has been mid at best. There's nothing special about it. It's aesthetically unpleasing. The map layouts are boring. It's all very bland and predictable, and you really could have put anything in this place and nobody would have noticed. I mean, you could have made an entirely new Mario Kart map, slapped the Game Boy Advance title on it, and people would believe you because they wouldn't know. DK Summit for Mario Kart Wii, though, makes its grand epic return, and I'm so happy about that because that was a very solid map that I was honestly surprised wasn't already in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering it or conflating it with a different map. I could have sworn that map was already in the game, but I guess not. But it's back now, and that's good. And then the final map, Yoshi's Island, I have not played nearly enough to get a good feel for it, but my first impression is, you can see that visually and aesthetically it taken directly from Super Mario World 2. So that's nice. I like it. It looks good. The Boomerang Cup, final cup at the moment until the DLC drops next week, includes the tour map Bangkok Rush, which was, a Mario Kart World Tour map. Wasn't a fan of it, but didn't hate it. Then we move on to the second track in the cup. It is Mario Circuit from the Nintendo DS Mario Kart. Or Mario Kart DS. Whatever they titled that one. I think it was just Mario Kart DS. And,
Mario Karts.
Yeah. This was a standard affair. I don't know why they insist on bringing back all the Mario circuits. If you played one Mario circuit, you've played all the Mario circuits. And what makes it even weirder is the placement of the Boomerang Cup I found very perplexing and peculiar, because they made decisions that I would not have and are contrary to the norm, because most any cup in the history of Mario Kart, if you've got an opener and you've got Mario Circuit in that cup, Mario Circuit, 9 times out of 10, is going to be the opener. This is the 10th time in the Boomerang Cup, because Mario Circuit is actually the second course in the cup, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And I didn't like it. It's a Mario Kart DS map. It's a Mario Circuit map. Kind of mid. But it's alright.
Oh,
Third map. This is where I got heated. They brought back one of the greatest courses in the history of all mankind in the GameCube Mario Kart Double Dash Waluigi Stadium. This course. That's the word I'm looking for. This map, this course, this racetrack. This is one of the greatest things ever. This course rules ass. It is phenomenal. It is just so good. And it's the third course in the cup. Waluigi Stadium has always been the fourth race in a cup. And to put it at third is just disrespectful. This would have Triple H upset at the booking because this is a 5-star marquee matchup, contrary to the final cup map, which is just a 3-star at best. But anyway, Waluigi Stadium is back. It works really well with the Mario Kart 8 zero gravity systems and whatnot. They made a lot of changes to it. They made a lot of aesthetic changes to it. But at its core, the foundation, it's still Waluigi Stadium. It still rules. Still one of the best maps of all time. So that was phenomenal. And the final course in this Boomerang Cup is a Mario Kart Tour map. It is Singapore Speedway. Now, historically speaking, I have hated just about every World Tour Cup course map, whatever, that they've included in this DLC. They had not included a single World Tour course that I've enjoyed thus far. Every time I see the Mario Kart Tour logo on the bottom left, I die a little bit on the inside because I just know straight away, oh, this map is gonna suck. I'm not gonna like this. This isn't gonna be fun. You know what I hate about the World Tour maps? Is that they're maps that are built with like 3 different ways you can go. But in truth, the truth of the matter is that they put invisible walls that you're not allowed to cross because they don't work on a go any which way you like system. They go on lap 1 you need to go this specific way, and then on lap 2 that specific way shuts down, and then you gotta go a different way. But there's nothing in the map that actually triggers visually to translate this message outside of the fact that they've got a bunch of translucent arrow lines that indicate, hey, you need to go this way now, idiot. Like, why? Why do I need to go that way? Why are you cutting off this previous way? Why are you cutting off this way that I'm not allowed to go on until the third lap? There's no reason that any of these layouts need to be closed off until, lap 1, lap 2, lap 3, etc. It's just dumb. It's poor map design. It's gimmicky. It's stupid. I hate it. I hope they fire whoever came up with that concept. And then I hope he gets flogged publicly in the streets. And then I hope somebody steals his left shoe.
Damn.
However, Singapore Speedway was actually a really fun map. I liked it. I really liked my time on it. If it had any of those stupid things where you got 3 ways to go, but it's only on the separate laps because everything else is shut down during the first lap, second lap, etc. Anyway, this one I didn't even notice that. If it had that mechanic, I didn't notice it because it was such a good map. I could learn to live with it. So Singapore Speedway gets 10-star rating from me, maybe 11 if I'm feeling generous. And it's the only Mario Kart Tour map in the history of the entire planet, the entire universe, that I've come to accept and love as a child of my own. Singapore Speedway is the greatest Mario Kart Tour map of all time, and all the others can die in hell. And that takes care of Mario Kart Deluxe, 8, etc.
Did you
Birdo
say
was
Singapore
added.
Speedway?
What?
Did you say Singapore Speedway?
Singapore Speedway. So the Mario Kart Tour gimmick is that, their Mario Kart mobile game?
No.
All their maps in the mobile game are based off of real world locations. So they've got like a map that's set in Paris, a map that's set in Athens, a map that's set in Tokyo, London, etc., Sydney. And I hate all their World Tour maps. They're the worst. I hate them so much. But then in the latest DLC, they dropped Singapore Speedway, and actually is a very fun map. So I highly recommend that map to all Mario Kart enthusiasts in the world and across the universe, across the galaxy.
Space
But-
and time.
Yes. But all the other World Tour maps, no. I despise them. I despise them with every fiber of my being. And I don't have a lot of fiber. But I think that rant kind of wraps up Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Triple Edition. They added Birdo, who is the greatest character of all time. They added Waluigi Stadium, which is the greatest map of all time. And I enjoyed a World Tour map, which I didn't expect to do. So yeah, it was a good time, had by all, except the person who came in last.
But he sucked, so he deserved it.
Yeah, he got what he deserved, and so did I,
Heh.
because I'm a winner.
That's a line that should be used more often. I got what I deserved. You say that when you win, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
Anyway.
I feel like people need more reasons to buy Mario Kart 8. They should make the next DLC car just be Waluigi running on his feet.
They already have like several carts that are based off characters. You know, they've got a Wiggler mobile, they've got a Yoshi bicycle.
Oh no, I don't mean
So-
I don't mean it like that. Like if I don't remember if Waluigi is playable in the game, but if he is,
Oh, he is.
then
He
just
is.
then just release a DLC car for him. The motorcycle technically. But it's not a motorcycle. He's just running.
You know what's crazy is that Diddy Kong is not in Mario Kart 8. You know, Waluigi is, and understandable, he's an icon. But Diddy Kong, you know, for a long ass time in the mid 2000s, I would say Diddy Kong was at least on par with. Maybe it's just my memory being incorrect, but I thought Diddy Kong was on par with Donkey Kong, if not superior. And then after Mario Kart Wii, they kind of just killed him. He was never heard from again.
I could almost swear Diddy Kong was in Mario Kart 8.
He's not. It's like I could swear the same thing, but he's not.
There's
His last video game appearance, not including Smash Brothers, was Mario Kart Wii in 2008.
that's not Diddy Kong in Mario Kart 8. You're thinking of his cousin Diddy Kong.
That is not correct. His last video game appearance, not counting Smash Brothers, would have been Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Those don't count. Nobody played them.
All right then.
Obviously, we all know that the reason that Diddy Kong is dead is because Rare owns the rights to Donkey Kong.
You know, appearing in your own game doesn't count. I'm talking about the party releases, you know?
Well, shit, then it's just going to be all the Mario dudes plus Link and Villager.
Precisely.
The fact that they still have it, like, okay, Link is more iconic, don't get me wrong. But the fact that in all the Mario Kart games where they decided to start adding non-Mario dudes, and they have never prioritized Captain Falcon.
Yeah.
Okay, Captain Falcon.
They added the Splatoon characters.
Captain Falcon
we have
is
Splatoon woman and Splatoon man, but we don't have Captain Falcon.
You see, Captain Falcon is exclusively a fighting game character now. He's retired from racing.
You're not wrong.
No, he's very not wrong.
Like Captain Falcon is gonna be the in the first wave of DLC for Tekken 8.
Probably.
You can't
Captain Falcon has more fighting game appearances than he does racing game appearances.
That is factually true. Yes.
That is.
You can't play as Captain Falcon, but you can steal his car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't the last?
In
yeah.
Mario Kart Wii 8 Deluxe Edition Ultra Violet Blu-ray, we have the Blue Falcon car, and we've got the Big Blue stage. We don't have Captain Falcon as a playable character, and we probably never will.
No,
Okay.
he's off being a Pokemon trainer.
Probably.
Pikmin 4. Okay, what was the amount of different distance in time between Pikmin 3 and Pikmin 4? A decade, right?
Just about, because I want to say, oh, what was it?
what is the longest time?
Pikmin 1 and 2 actually had a relatively short time span between each other. I want to say it was like 2000, 2002 or something like that.
Yeah.
But Pikmin 3 didn't come out till like 2013, 14. Would have been around the same time that the Wii U released. And now we're just getting a Pikmin 4, which is we're a decade off from the Wii U launching now in 2023. So that's 10 years probably, I'd wager.
I'm thinking, what's the longest time between entries in a Nintendo franchise?
Well, let's see. F-Zero's yeah, F-Zero. No, F-Zero's last
I
game
love
was
Zeros.
GX on the GameCube.
Yeah.
Which would have been after Mother 3, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So Earthbound/Mother is actually the Nintendo franchise that spent the longest in the dirt. Though most people are understanding of that, considering that Mother 3 has a pretty definitive end to the series.
Yeah. And then let's see. Metroid got spin-offs, so technically I guess those count.
But boy, there was a long time between Other M and Dread.
Kid Icarus?
Yeah.
Oh, Kid Icarus, that was a long time.
Yeah, like you had like Kid Icarus 1 and then you
The
ended up rising.
thing about Kid Icarus is, yeah, you had your first Kid Icarus game, then they forgot about it. Then they made a new one back when the Wii U first launched, and for a very brief, like 5-year period, Kid Icarus had a renaissance where he had like 3 games released at the same time, and then they forgot about him again.
Yeah.
It was like a 30-year gap, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't. That's okay. Well, what's 30 years from the last F-Zero release?
Can you check when F-Zero GX came out?
I can. Give me 1 second to get the
Alright.
Google up and running. F-Zero, 0 with an X, yes. F-Zero GX was released. See more. 2003.
Alright. So we still have 10 years.
Yes, it was released on July 25th of 2023. 2003. In Japan, I should know. In North America, we didn't get it until August.
2033. All right. Dig in, boys.
Yeah.
All right.
Which,
yeah.
Did F-Zero not have a story ending? Did it not end officially, like more or less officially, with Captain Falcon retiring?
I don't know if F-Zero has a story. That would be news to me.
Well, F-Zero ended with Captain Falcon retiring and going, I'm gonna punch dude. That's my job now.
I mean, his day job is bounty hunting. Racing is his hobby.
True.
Which is...
Imagine being so badass that your profession is bounty hunting, and then on the side you do like high-speed racing. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. Against a bunch of other racers who are also violent psychopaths.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, one of the racers in F-Zero is just straight up Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That's his name. That's his full name. Just straight up Darth Vader.
Yeah. That motherfuckers had to know. He had to make it clear for him.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. What did I interrupt?
You interrupted me and my week.
I see.
Yes. Outside of Mario Kart, I can't say I invested all too much time in all the new games I bought or anything else for that matter. It was kind of a I don't want to say lazy week for me, but a not video gamey type of week for me. And any free time I had, I was usually investing into Dead by Daylight, 2K23, or on the rare occasion I would play Street Fighter 6, mostly with the Addy though. So you already experienced that.
To collect the ass beatings.
Yes.
I did
Like
teach Pink.
I was doing so well, Addy could not take a single round off of me. I was whooping his ass, and Addy was like, "Okay, you've come too far. I've taught you too well. We need to stop."
Yeah, then I uninstalled Pink's copy of Street Fighter 6 from his hard
Yeah,
drive
he grounded me.
remotely.
He was like, "No more for you, young man."
There's something funny about all the work that developers put into like making good ELO and skilled SBMM systems. And then you get these situations where it's like, okay, the three of us are playing together. The three of us are all from very different tiers of the skill rank.
Yeah.
Apparently so.
Like, we got Mr. fucking Gold over here, Mr. fucking Rookie over here, and I'm sitting over here with characters that are ranging from high iron to low silver.
Yeah, like I guess you're high iron, low silver, low silver. I'm high silver, low gold, and then Pink is he's like dark side. Pink is
Pink places characters on quantity of ass though, so that
Yeah.
That's
influences
true.
his skilled distribution.
really
Yeah.
like I'm looking forward to season 2 where the characters are Mika and Hugo.
I was about to say Mika, Hugo, Laura,
Yeah,
and
Laura. Kusanek. No,
Victor. Not
Sure.
Victor.
I don't know. I don't know who else has a big ass in Street Fighter.
Wait a second.
Lucia, I guess.
Well, yeah, Lucia, Colleen, both, yeah. I mean, the top two people are going to think of naturally are always going to be Cammy and Mika.
Yeah.
Laura, like it's incredible. Like Pink's never went back and sat down too hard with 5, but it's crazy how like Cammy is there as like the character that appeals to Pink's aesthetics, but I think Laura 100% is the actual character made for Pink.
Yeah. Laura is a character that I don't like just because I like Sean better.
I kind of feel like they have to get both of them in one game at some point.
Eventually, yeah.
It's a good question of when that will be, because holy shit, Street Fighter 6, you know, the characters, like we keep saying, the characters are coming along slower because they're bigger.
And they also come with a story expansion, so
Yeah.
like that's the thing.
Well, we already saw Rashid's not coming with a stage. He's just
he's in a shell. Yeah, I read the season pass, and the season pass says there's gonna be, I believe, 2 stages added.
2 stages.
So,
I am willing. Let's see. Well, who's left? I could see Ed getting his own stage and Akuma getting his own stage and Aki being left in Nashal. I don't know.
Yeah, or Ed in Nashal to explain the stuff with Bosch, and then Aki gets their own stage.
Yeah. Which, when's the last time Akuma got his own stage? Oh, I guess Akuma had the ruined temple in 5, didn't he?
Yeah. I hope they go back to giving him the cave temple. I like that in Alpha 2.
I mean, the cave temple is kind of just there in Nashal.
True.
Regardless. Pink, did you have anything else you wanted to hit for your week?
I don't think so.
All right, Addy, your week.
Well, let's see. I mean, there's a lot of stuff just in real life. The cat got out. The cat's back, by the way. She's fine.
Sweet.
Oh, she tried to leave again. If she leaves again, then that's her fault. she should learn.
Yeah.
But yeah, that construction is going on right now as we speak. We're remodeling the kitchen and the like main hall, I guess technically. You know, this me saying these things makes it sound like I live in a large house. I don't, but there's no like you know what do I call the small like cement walkway between the rooms?
Yeah.
And so yeah, we're remodeling those a bit, and it's a pain in the ass. I'm tired. And that summarizes that, really.
All right.
But because of that, I haven't been able to do a whole lot. I finished Crime and Punishment, which I don't think I talked about last time. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I liked the book. The ending leaves things to be desired. Which, it's a thing where, like, the actual ending part of the ending is good, and then there's sequel baiting, and that kind of soured me.
Sequel baiting in the 1800s?
Yeah.
Are you for certain that it wasn't just like we're leaving it to the reader to figure out what goes on past here?
No, the book ends with, oh well, such and such things happen to these characters and all that, and once the summary is done, they're like, this and that happened after the events of this book to the main guy, but for that you have to buy the next book.
That's strange. I've never heard of Dostoevsky making sequels.
Which, like, if it was just supposed to be a thing of like, oh well, it's up to the readers thing to figure out what happens to the characters. That's a very shitty way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, aside from that, the book is fine. It's a good thinking book, which that's basically how I internally whatchamacallit, like, sort books. There's books for entertainment and there's books for thinking. And Crime and Punishment is a book that you think about. It's supposed to actually, like, challenge your thoughts. Whereas, something like, I don't know, Assassin's Creed, the novelizations. I mean, you're not supposed to fucking think about what's being said. There's words on the screen, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I read that. It's good. I enjoyed it as a thing to just think about. Once again, the ending kind of soured me on the ending and stretch. But the thing with that really is that, like, Dostoevsky got so close to having a really good ending, and it was very interesting the way that the final chapter plays out. And then we have an epilogue, and the epilogue is fine. It kind of takes the wind out of the sails of the ending, but it works fine. It gives you some more context for what happened, and if it's one of those things where, like, if he hadn't included that in the book, I would have been disappointed that he hadn't. So there was no real winning there. And even in the epilogue, the only part is, once again, that I have a problem with, and the only thing that really made me sour on the epilogue is just the thing of, like, it ending on, this and that happened to this guy later, but we'll leave that for the next book, which is, like, really shitty. But yeah, otherwise the book is good. I can see why it became a worldwide phenomenon like it did.
Do you think by our next book was there like and subscribe for the time?
Yes.
Pretty sweet, yo.
Like, honestly, you could tell me that that passage is just in there because the publisher demanded it, and I would I would believe it. But yeah. Then let's see, what else did I play? Well, I played a lot of Street Fighter 6. I've gone back to playing not Cammy, Jury, because I'm kind of tired of Ken, and it seems like I'll just keep switching around who I'm mainly for the time being until Akuma comes out, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been enjoying Jury a bit recently. I'm getting a better hold on the Fuha, and then, like, it really, the thing is, the thing that I've found that I had a problem with playing Jury in the past is that I relied too much on the Fuha. And the Fuhai is very important, but the Fuhai is not the be all end all. Like you can't. I have beat a guy without charging Fuha once, so you know.
What the heck is Fuha?
Jury has a stacking mechanic where she needs to do this
You know
kick.
that thing where when you play against Jury and she starts kicking her leg up and going ha 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 ha.
I
She's
don't think I've
building
experienced such a thing.
She builds up a little thing that makes her move stronger. There you go.
Ah.
Yeah. And so that's you know, once I've learned that I can kind of ignore it and just play around it whenever I can, and that has made it try and enjoy playing Jury more, because it's not just build stacks, do combo, build stacks, do combo, build stacks, do combo, die. Because eventually people just stop getting hit by the combo, you know.
Yeah.
I had this funny thing where one of the missions, the daily missions, was have fights in the battle hub, and I never play the battle hub unless the game expects me to for kudos, and I need to build kudos. So I went, okay. I go to the battle hub. Jamie challenges me. The game is like, the game explicitly points out, hey, they're near your skill level. I go, cool. They're like a silver 4 then. Yeah, no, there's a way you can check people's ranks after you fought them in the battle hub in your history. Guy was fucking platinum 1.
Nice.
It beat me very bad. Well, okay, well, that's not true. I took a couple of rounds of them, but I never won a full set. But yeah, you know, I could tell that they weren't silver when we were fighting, because they knew how to answer to everything that I was doing and all that, and they were very good with drinking. But still, it's really funny that he was like, hey, this guy's on your skill was silver or whatever, fucking platinum 1. I'm silver 4 with Jury, and that took me like 3 however long the game's been out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a couple of funny fights against Zangiefs, where like the Pink, when I fought Pink always caught me with the instant SPD, because even the modern Zangiefs that I face nowadays are too scared to actually do the SPD. They're trying to outnormal you, and Zangief's normals aren't bad in this game. He's also a grab character.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the grab is kind of what you're supposed to be playing around, and it's not like I'm like Dawson or Guile, where you can't even really get into to grab me if I'm playing the character right. Like Jury and Ken are, in fact, very easily throwable, because I need to pressure you. That's my character.
I will say, as a Zangief playing Street Fighter 6, is that playing against Jury, she has such oppressive pressure that it often feels like it is never my turn. And the SPD is not quite the get out of jail free card reversal that it used to be.
Yeah. I mean, on classic, I can understand that. On modern, I can understand it a bit less, just because the SPD is just a very easy input then, and you're probably able to hit it very fast.
No, it's not so much the input; it's that it's a little bit slower than it used to be.
I see.
Which, like I think I've mentioned this before. Normal throw beats SPD.
Yeah, which is really dumb. I don't like that. Like, I can see why they would go that way, expecting people to play modern, but at the same time, to me, it just feels dirty that modern, or not modern, fucking hell, that just normal throw can beat command throws, because command throws are supposed to be harder to hit. You know?
It's more complicated than that, but we've already discussed the fucking throw thing in Street Fighter 6.
Yeah. But yeah, then did I have anything else particular about Better State? Not really. I mean, I'm waiting for Akuma. Eventually, I'll start playing ranked, because it's not really like I'm in this position where I don't really enjoy playing ranked, but at the same time, ranked makes Street Fighter be the perfect just listen to videos, watch videos while I'm playing the game or playing a game. So it's a thing of like, well, I don't really enjoy playing ranked when I actually try to sit down and pay attention to it, which I have to sometimes to actually like get results. But at the same time, if I don't play Street Fighter 6 online while I watch videos, then what the fuck am I gonna do? Which is to say that eventually I will reach Master Rank. And y'all will have lives.
Oh. Don't be too sure about that.
Next time we play Street Fighter 6, Pink has reached Master Rank on every character in Classic Controls. Which I genuinely don't think would be possible unless he like got a 50-win streak and counting. At least from rookie, it would be very hard. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Anyway, yeah. So that did I play anything else? I played a very small amount of Deus Ex, the newest one, the one that killed the series.
I see. Human Revolution?
That one. I thought it was the one before that, the one that I've already played before, but no, it was the newest one. I played a very small amount of it. They have it done so that whenever you go into cover, it turns into a third-person game, and it made me realize how much more I would enjoy Deus Ex if it was a third-person game. There's just something about the camera that's like it's just an inherent limitation of the first person camera that you can't really do the corner peeking and stuff like that that you could do with a third person one.
Yeah.
And I play Deus Ex very stealth heavy, so corner peeking is something that I like to do.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I mean, otherwise it's Deus Ex. It's like controversial opinion. Deus Ex is kind of mid. I never got it. But then I guess the whole like aesthetics and stuff never appealed to me that much, so maybe it's just that. And then what else? Technically, I played a bit of God of War Ragnarok. This was like 2 weeks ago, but I forgot about it, so I'm bringing it up now.
What?
There's a trial of God of War Ragnarok. One of my PlayStation quests was play God of War Ragnarok, and I went okay. I downloaded the trial, and I went, hey, I'll actually give it a look. Because usually the missions, I just open up whatever game they want me to open, and then I just close it and delete it immediately. God of War, I actually tried to give a chance. Now the problem here is that the trial system is nice when you check out a game on your terms, but there's some games that don't work with the trial system. God of War is one of them. God of War is very cinematic and very cinematic heavy.
Yeah.
So even though they give you 3 hours to play the game, what it actually means is you get to play the first 10 minutes of the tutorial, and I'm not gonna sit around just waiting for the thing to take down while I'm watching cutscenes,
Yeah.
Like I'll either play God of War Ragnarok once I buy it, or I'll watch someone else play through it. But I don't want this burst of both worlds. Where technically I'm playing God of War Ragnarok, but I'm not really because I'm just waiting for it to take away. So yeah, I think that's about it.
All right. Let's see. Let me go ahead and say what's going to be on my channel this week, which is going to be alternating Street Fighter and Gladius as per usual. If I upload anything else, that'll be a surprise to me and you.
Yeah.
Now, for my week, it's not been terribly eventful. It's been largely a lot of the same. Been watching The Wire. It goes places. It good. Things happen to characters. Things happen that make you go, yes. But then some things happen that make you go, no. Good TV show. I play Total War Warhammer. Little bit. Cool mods release. One releases that makes you play as the great necromancer Nagash, who comes back. The guy who invented undeath, as it were, in the Warhammer world. And he's back, and he's at the head of a great necromantic host, and it's a fun, cool campaign. He is a little bit OP, but he, considering in the lore, he's one of the biggest, baddest sons of bitches in the whole of the Warhammer lore. That's not too shocking. Also, it's somewhat mitigated by the fact that everyone on the map hates you. So, you're working with very strong armies, and you get a lot of them pretty early on, but you're at war with everyone else on the map, so that mitigates things. It's a cool little campaign. I actually wound up beating the long victory for it, which is the first time I've ever beaten any campaign's long victory. There is a point where you can complete a ritual if you take certain magic hotspots on the map. I dilly-dallied too much, building too much of an empire on shitty provinces, and it was wounding up finding myself wasting my time protecting a lot of provinces I didn't actually care about. So I never actually got around to investing the time to complete that big ritual, but if I did, then that would be a funny thing because that has pretty well got a victory tied to it. If you do it, then it's pretty well done. But nonetheless, if you want to keep playing, it's like, okay, well, congratulations. Now all units are half cost. You have double the amount of armies. You do double damage and all just crazy shit that is explicitly just there for, okay, here's a bunch of boosts to just clean up the rest of the map. There you go. It would have been neat to finish that out, but I'll go back and do that some other day. There's one mod in particular that the Nagash mod is supposed to be integrated with that has not come out yet. So that's one thing to wait on. And for another thing, there's just a couple other big mods that haven't come out yet. The Araby mod hasn't come out yet. The Nippon mod hasn't come out yet. So the Warhammer world doesn't feel complete just yet. And let's see. For anything else, I actually haven't put a whole load of time into Street Fighter 6 this week. But for Gladius, I did want to get it in real quick. So Gladius, I mean, for one thing, Pink, do you want to play multiplayer now that you've got Adeptus Sororitas, or do you want to take some more races for spins in single player?
I definitely want to play with you again in Gladius. I don't know specifically what race I want to choose, because I've got options now, and they all look so much fun. So I that's really going to be something I decide on probably at the spur of the moment once we actually start playing.
I will say I tried the Orcs. I did a complete playthrough of them. The last couple episodes will be coming out on my YouTube channel in the coming days. And I had a lot more fun with them than I did the previous time. I didn't entirely get them the first time. The Orcs have an economy that is built around, they have to pay that influence for all their units. All of their units have an influence cost to build and an influence upkeep. But all of their units also generate influence by fighting. Doesn't matter if they're winning or losing, as long as they're fighting, they generate influence.
Ah,
so you want to be
fight
fighting
forever.
Yeah, you want to be fighting all the time. And the more fighting that is going on, the more winning that is going on, the more you increase what they have called the wall level up in the top. The higher your wall level, then the more loyalty your cities generate. And the orcs, most of the orc buildings generate loyalty on their own. So the orcs get to build wide, where, as you've seen in Gladius, the majority of the races in Gladius are built to play tall.
Right.
But no, the orcs get to play wide. Now, the Tyranids are one I'm going to be hitting next. I'm curious to hit them because I don't know what the fuck they play like. I was about to say they're aliens, but yeah, no shit, they're aliens. They don't play the game like anybody else. I know that much. But I'll be figuring out how the hell they play the game soon. I'll be starting up my own single-player playthrough, and ideally I'll be hitting it in such a way that I can give some tips to you as to how the hell they work. Some kind of translation of okay, so imagine Venice, but Except they're the opposite of Venice because their cities can only grow to a 2-tile width, and I don't believe they take that big of a loyalty hit for each city built. So they're actually the opposite of Venice. They want to build loads of cities, but nonetheless. The only thing I could think of off the top of my head for the Adeptus Sororitas that I should tell you real quick is they have a tech that is what the game calls it, like a rite or a prayer that heals all units on the map. You want to get that. You want to rush to that in the tech tree.
Right.
There is also a unit called the Sisters Repentia in the tech tree, who are crazy naked women. Well, they're not fully naked, but on the tabletop they got pretty close to naked. But crazed, unarmored women with big chainsaws. They're really good.
It sounds like it.
They're the epitome of glass cannon, but you get them very, very, very early in the tech tree.
Ah.
And they do loads of damage to everything, including cities. So I thought they were really good. Yeah, nonetheless, there's Gladius. Let's see. Other than that, the only thing I can think of to really hit is I did watch SmackDown last night. Now, SmackDown started with the Tribal Court segment between Roman and Solo and the Usos. Roman being put on Tribal Court because Jey Uso pinned him, which apparently is some kind of like big thing there.
Yeah.
So the Usos go out there and they put on a video package showing all the times that Roman has abused them, abused Solo, abused Paul, abused Sammy, and saying, Roman, you've lost it, man. Roman, like, you turned into Gaskeep Gate like chief boss. And Roman first goes, no, you don't get it. I had to do that. I had to be like that. I'm not like that. You all made me like that because I have to, because I'm the biggest star in this company. I'm the one keeping the bloodline afloat. You guys would have never got all those title shots without me. It's all, you don't understand. I've been doing this for everybody else but me. And the crowd plays its part very well and just shits on Roman, chanting, you fucked up. You fucked up.
Roman says that he's the reason that they got all of those title shots. Roman, honey, they would have gotten those title shots anyway. They're one of the two teams that exist.
They're one of the only two tag teams. Come on now.
To be fair, under Hunter, there are more tag teams, but most of them are like, well, here's the Vikings.
Yeah.
So after the Usos and the crowd just relentlessly shit on Roman, Roman starts crying. And Roman says, you bring this out on TV where my kids can see it, where your kids can see it, where our cousins, where my elders can see it. You know what? I don't want to do this anymore. You want this? Take it. And he reaches up and he takes the tribal chief necklace off and he puts it on Jey and he gets down on his knees and he is sobbing and he starts to, like kneel to Jey saying, no, Jey, you're the tribal chief. And then he reaches up and punches Jey right in the balls.
Fair enough.
And at that point, it devolves into something of a clusterfuck as Roman and Usos and, Jimmy just goes over and drags Roman into the corner and starts putting the fucking boots to him Stone Cold style.
Flipping the bird included.
Yeah, there you go. Well, at this point in the story, yes, actually, that would fit. Solo spikes him with the soul of Umaga and spikes Jey and the whole thing. But then it's left with everybody knocked down except Solo standing in the center of the ring.
I'm imagining Paul Heyman hitting someone with a Rikishi driver.
Oh, good lord. He's so short that their head would spike with the mat before his ass even hit the ground.
Yeah.
And Solo reaches down and picks up the tribal chief necklace. And he's holding on to it and he's looking at it. And he's looking at it the same way Boromir looks at the One Ring on the slopes of the mountain in Fellowship, right?
Right.
Or it's like, what was the line Boromir said? Such a little thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And Roman gets up and he goes to Solo and he goes, "Hand me the necklace, Solo. Hand me it. Give it. Give it." And it, like, they stand there for good solid, like, 5 seconds, just staring daggers at each other before Jay finally Pearl Harbors them both. And from there on, it's a, Roman Solo versus Uso schmoz that ends in Jay getting Jay gets tied up in the ropes, Andre style, though outside the ring instead of inside the ring. And Ray Mysterio arrived, new Bloodline member. Reigns, there we go. Reigns picks up the stairs and just starts hammering Jimmy again and again and again. They have Jay and Jimmy get taken out by ambulance, and they proceed to later in the night. Jay comes out. Jimmy apparently is still in the hospital, but Jay gets out. And Roman goes out there to the ring to have a promo at the end of the night. And Jay comes in through the crowd, like Roman used to. Solo goes to stop him from climbing the barrier, and credit to Jay for this. Jay just, like, jumps over the barrier with a crazy crossbody onto Solo, beats him up, gets in the ring, spooks off Roman. Roman hightails it so hard he forgets the belt in the ring. Jay picks up the belt, picks up a mic, and says to Roman, "I challenge you to a match. You better accept it so I can finish whooping your ass." So, yeah.
Main event, Jay.
Now, obviously, Jay should not be the one to beat Roman.
Right.
But nonetheless, good hype for this matchup.
Yay.
Other than that, all I can think of are the segments on the night. It was mostly a pretty damn good SmackDown. There was Karrion Kross versus AJ Styles, which I will say,
Wait.
this
You just said this was a good SmackDown. Then you pull out this swerve.
No. This was a good SmackDown. Because this was booked exactly as it should be. First minute, Kross gets in some offense. And then AJ just dumpsters him.
Excellent.
Like, honestly, AJ takes a few moves. He takes a cross hammer. And then AJ hits like 3 moves. Phenomenal forearm. 1, 2, 3. It's over.
As it should be.
Like, Kross and Hit Row are the 2 acts that you can very distinctly point to as these guys need to go.
Yep.
Like, with Kross, you can say that without a doubt, a worry about where Kross will go. Kross and Scarlett can just go back down to AAA. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They can go back to being Gringo heels.
Yeah.
No one in Mexico is going to boo Scarlett. Let me change that. Kross can go heel. Scarlett can go back to, being in the ring with Taya Valkyrie and them both going, "We're both hot, thick blondes." And Mexico goes, "Yes." Or, excuse me, see.
See.
You see, that's their problem. They didn't give Kross the Gringo heel gimmick.
See, it would be a bit awkward for Kross to run a Gringo heel gimmick in the States, considering he is himself Puerto Rican, and I think most Americans would consider that close enough to not being Gringo.
Then it would just be even more funny if he did.
And the trouble is, they could bring Sam Adonis up with the Gringo heel gimmick and his "I Love Trump" gimmick, but going by what happened with Jack Swagger, these fools would start cheering him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair,
in fairness, Swagger was opposite of Del Rio.
I was about to say, like, considering that Swagger was against Del Rio, okay,
there is an argument to be made that yes, Alberto Del Rio is in fact a Mexican criminal that crossed the border, but nonetheless.
I mean, to be fair to Del Rio too, I'm pretty sure he crossed it illegally. So
that is true. And when Trump was talking about rapists and drug dealers, Del Rio, I believe, was a domestic abuser.
Yeah. Well, no, he was also he also partook in the in that, I think, or at least
spousal rape. Yeah.
Yeah, spousal.
Ugh. God, what a fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
Oh man, the other day I was looking over, so there was a thread that was posted on Twitter of the history of the Ring of Honor roster, and it was the Ring of Honor roster year by year. And like it's funny how there you can tell there's a tangible like Ring of Honor golden age where it's like, okay, we got Punk, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, El Generico, Kevin Steen, Eddie Edwards, the Briscoe brothers, Davey Richards, and there's a very quick sudden drying up of okay, TNA and WWE just ate most of this roster.
Yep.
Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards are going off the deep end. And who is that they've added to the roster in 2015? Alberto El Patron.
And then there's EC3.
Oh God, EC3.
Like, you know, when EC3 went to WWE, I was like,
Dude,
hey.
EC3 had like all the hype back in 2016 or something stupid like that. And then they signed him to NXT and he just flopped immediately. That
I was
was
about to say, like,
honestly one of the most impressive downfalls I've ever witnessed in the history of wrestling.
That's not even the beginning thing. Because like EC3 when he signed to WWE, I was like, hey, I heard people say that EC3 is really good, and then he went nowhere in WWE, and I was like, okay, that happens. He left, and then he proceeded to tank his career outside of the WWE too because he went off the deep end as well.
Right.
And at first it sounded fairly interesting because he was like, all right, I'm going to make a company and I'm going to ban the Canadian Destroyer and the Super Kick. And it's like, okay, I wouldn't go for full scale banning the Super Kick, but
I don't know why I thought you were gonna say that he was gonna ban Canadians.
yeah.
All of them.
Is EC3 not himself Canadian?
I don't remember.
I don't know, but once again, it stops the comedy.
He's got big Canuck energy, if you ask me. Anyways, yeah. Let's see. They also had Theory versus Sheamus. But I missed it all because I was busy making food.
Oh.
You didn't miss much. It's Theory. He's gonna sync it up anyway.
Theory, I believe how the match ended was both Pretty Deadly and the Brawling Brutes did run-ins, and while Sheamus was distracted, Theory got a roll-up. There you go. More significantly, they had a segment. Asuka went out there to cut a promo. And everybody went, oh no! Because Asuka still only knows about 3 phrases in English. So Asuka gets started naturally with "No one is ready for Asuka," and then thank God somebody hits Bianca Belair's music.
It would be funny if one week she just comes out and starts cutting a promo, and mid-promo they cut off her mic and someone just starts talking over her. Like they just start live dubbing her.
Live dubbing, yes.
Shout out to my homies, 411.
They have okay. At the next WrestleMania, Asuka needs to come out to do a promo. She starts doing the promo. You hear her. Then her mic gets lowered, and then dubbed over Asuka, we hear Snoop Dogg translating what she's saying.
I'd watch the crap out of that.
So Bianca Belair sprints to the ring, but then Charlotte's music hits, and Charlotte sprints to the ring, and Charlotte is wearing very high heels and is sprinting to the fucking ring. And
she's got a nasty habit of getting in all these like very physically demanding segments, but still wearing heels. This is not the first time she's done a full sprint to the ring in high heels. This is probably not the first time she's gotten into an altercation in high heels. Why does she keep doing this?
I mean, heels are a good weapon.
You're not wrong, but still.
Like, there's a lot of old jokes about how you could tell whether or not Hogan in the NWO days was ever going to actually take a bump based on whether or not he'd actually bothered to wear knee pads over his tights, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Charlotte is one of those ones who is dedicated to the idea of making it so that you can never tell whether she's taking a bump tonight.
Oh, that's a fact.
So and Bianca start brawling at ringside before either of them can get to Asuka, and Asuka starts posing on the top turnbuckle like, "Hi, you dumb idiots!" And then Yoshirai slides in, slams the Money in the Bank briefcase into Asuka's ass,
Taking out one of her deadliest weapons there.
throws her off the top turnbuckle, moonsaults. Bailey slides in, grabs the briefcase, hands the briefcase to a magically appeared referee, going, "Cash it in, cash it in." The referee slides out, but Bianca, no, wait, the ref does not actually, his hands do not connect with the briefcase. That is important. As Bailey's about to hand the briefcase to the ref, Bianca grabs Bailey and pulls her out of the ring, and it just devolves into mass melee schnoz. Or excuse me, schmoz, not schnoz. It does not devolve into a mass melee nose. Excuse me. Mass melee schmoz.
Mass melee Schnaz is one of Triple H's nicknames.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think the best way of doing this is to whoever's in charge of who's been in charge of booking the women's, at least on SmackDown. First of all, whoever it is, probably Bruce Pritchard or Michael Hayes or some other fucking mope, kick them to the curb. If we cannot kick them to the curb because they're one of Vince McMahon's butt buddies and he'll raise hell if they get fired, then tell them, okay, you're not allowed to write promos anymore. Figure out a way every week for it to be a schmoz. Because schmoz is every week pretty boring, but I'll take it over week after week of them going out there and I respect you, but I want your
Not much
belt.
respect.
Speaking of that, I recently saw the Charlotte's Return promo with Asuka, because WWE uploaded a video with it in it, the full segment, and Charlotte comes out, starts cutting a Ric Flair promo. I went, why is she talking like her dad? Then, just complete scene switch. Immediately in the middle of the promo, she starts talking about, "I respect you, Asuka," and I go, "Oh, there it is."
Yeah. Yeah, she got in her bits from the beginning of like, "Hey, I'm the greatest, baby. I should get a belt shot just because I'm great. I'm me.
I'm the greatest baby. I am actually 3.
Yeah.
I've just this all for no reason.
So, you know, it's anyways. Yeah, keep this going so we can actually do something here. Shout out to Yoshirai holding the briefcase for more than 2 days.
Yeah.
Anyways, it'd be funny if the way they proceed with this gimmick is Bailey repeatedly trying to cash it in on Yoshirai's behalf and Bailey keeps getting interrupted.
Yeah.
Like, especially if Bailey tries to cash it in really stupid moments.
Yeah.
Anyways, and the last notable segment of the night, let's see, well, it was actually 2 segments. They had Grayson Waller doing the Waller effect with Edge. Now, I was busy eating at the moment, so I could not pay attention entirely to what was going on. So sadly, I missed the ticker at the bottom, which presumably was saying many delightful things, like, I wonder what Grayson Waller smells like. Well, Grayson Waller, you ever been in a men's prison? You ever been in the wilds? I don't remember the rest of the lines from Airplane. Addie, tell me you remember more of the pilot's lines in Airplane, what he says to the kid.
I've never seen Airplane.
Oh, I thought you had. Shit. Anyways, the Grayson Waller and Edge are cutting promos, and Grayson Waller's talking about how, "Hey, Edge, it's so great you came on my show to announce that you're retiring." And I'm going to continue to go with the most insulting Australian accent for Grayson Waller as long as I have to. And Edge is like, "Well, I'm very happy. I'm so happy you came on my show to announce you're retiring." Well, I was kind of thinking, it's going to be great when you announce your retirement here on this show. I'm not fucking retiring. And Grace is like, "Oh. Well, shit, what are you here to do, you old fuck?" So that was pretty great.
Yeah.
And Edge tells Grayson, "Okay, you've been on the main roster for 2 months. You've come out here and cut promos and interviewed people and cut promos and interviewed people. You even cut promos with John fucking Cena. At some point, you have to wrestle. At some point, you have to sink or swim. And so Edge challenges Grayson to a match later that night. And they have the match. And it is a damn good TV match. You can tell it's a good one when they have to interrupt it with 2 commercial breaks.
Yeah.
And they both pick a part of the body to focus on, which is a surprise. Edge picks the ribs. Edge early on in the match does one of the strangest things I've ever seen Edge do.
A bear hug.
Edge picks Grayson up for the execution, right? Like he picks him up in a headlock and he
Yeah.
grabs him by the tights and pulls him up. But he like cancels it or feints it instead of into an execution, instead of a DDT drop. He drops Grayson into a rib breaker, into a gut buster. There we go.
He did a Roman cancel.
Yeah, there we go. And I've never seen Edge do that. And Edge spends the rest of the match hammering away on Grayson's ribs. And Grayson focuses entirely on Edge's neck. He DDTs him. He throws elbow drops to the neck. He throws hammer fists to the back of the neck. He throws on lots of chin locks and neck locks. So that was really neat. And, we get to the end of the match. And they both start to hit their signatures. Edge hits the execution, the proper execution this time. Grayson hits that bizarro. So you remember the flashback, that move that Cena used to do? Where he'd jump over the opponent's back and then kind of like... Yeah, you get the idea. Imagine doing that, but instead of just ending in that way that Cena's flashback did, it ends with a Christian unprettier. Yeah, Grayson does that as a signature.
Nice.
It's
a bit too flashy.
It's very flashy, but that's Grayson for you.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Rolling Stunner here.
That's the Rolling Stunner guy. I see.
Yeah. And Grayson slides out of the ring. He amps up. He rolls into the ring, and Edge spears him in midair.
The Rolling Stunner made me think. You know what would actually be that has the potential to be a cool finish? A stunner from the back where you convert it from a Shining Wizard setup. Just jump over them into the stunner.
Oh, kind of like when they're kneeling and you like hop over them and stuff.
Yeah, you use the back of their leg or whatever. I never could figure out where Buddha jumps off from the person when they're facing from the back. But yeah, they do that setup, and then during the jump you transition into the stunner.
Kind of, yeah. That's also kind of similar to the flashback, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, Edge pins him 1, 2, 3, but then Grayson kind of crawls into the corner, and then Edge goes out, grabs a microphone, and says, "Grayson, hey Waller, you swam." And that was pretty good. A good showing that Edge, Edge ain't done yet. He ain't retiring. He's got more in him.
I mean, Edge may retire, but what about Brood Edge?
But Grayson, he got the shine.
Yeah.
Grayson Waller would have so much upside if you weren't Australian.
It gives him a -5 debuff to all of his stats.
Yeah.
So I know people are really down on Theory right now.
But yeah, he keeps on putting on stinkers.
Yeah.
Have you seen what he did with Edge on my show?
It's on Nitro.
Yeah.
But I think Theory versus Edge could be a lot of fun. At least partly because Cena fucked Theory pretty hard there.
Yeah.
Of course, Edge has to come and fix Cena's mistakes as usual.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where like I haven't actually seen Theory, so I can't tell if it would be a good match. I would find it really funny if it ended up being a bad match, just because then it would actually be like GM mode.
Oh God. Well, it's like Theory puts on good then it would be Theory puts on good matches with all the younger guys, but the old guys just give him nothing.
Yeah.
And at that point, if Edge ain't gonna give Theory nothing, then I think we would all know, okay, let's not try and go for the threefer with the Ruthless Aggression era stars.
Yeah.
Because if Cena ain't gonna give you nothing, if Edge ain't gonna give you nothing, Orton definitely ain't showing up to fucking work.
Theory will then have a match against the WWE legend Carlito.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, fucking G-Man's getting hyped up every month now, saying, "Guys, Carlito's coming back. I know it." Can someone explain to me why G-Man's such a huge Carlito mark?
I don't know.
I don't have a
I've
clue.
not been able to figure that out. Like, I mean, okay, let me say, Carlito would have been one of the big stars during G-Man's childhood, so we all mark out a little bit for a lot of the top stars in our childhood. But I mean, Carlito's not the worst of the clones, but
I mean, I don't know, because the big stars during my childhood, who even were they? John Cena. And I dislike Cena.
well, what years were you watching as a kid?
2013 to 2015 or so, I think.
Okay, so that would have been probably still Cena, Punk, Bryan.
Yeah, at least like all of those you've listed thus far.
They were trying to make Roman work, but that was when Roman was not working.
Yeah.
Who else would have been on top around that? Lesnar, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I did.
That still would have been the ambulatory corpse periods for Big Show, Kane, and Rey Mysterio,
Yes.
where none of those three would move the fuck on. Oh man, Big Show still wants to wrestle in AEW. Why?
I mean, he got into shape. I haven't seen him wrestle since he got into shape, but he got into shape.
He did, but it's like we're not gonna like. He's not got that same like fucking vigor to him that he did back in the Giant days.
Yeah.
If we could see the Giant again, then yeah, I'd be all for Show wrestling again.
Okay, but imagine this: Show gets a match with AEW. He does a 450, a perfect one.
I mean, Brutus Creed is throwing 450s now, so who gives a shit?
I don't know. It would be more and more like impressive from Show, because I've seen Show wrestle and he can do a 450. He cannot.
Giant back in the day would have if nobody had told him not to.
Probably, yeah.
It is a small miracle that somebody was probably able to talk Show out of doing a moonsault back in the day. And hell, back then, Vader, Bam Bam Bigelow, and the Headhunter still threw them. So
Yeah. Although that does make me think about the alternate universe where Big Show's finish in current day is the Moon Stomp, which would actually kill you.
Oh God, yes, it would collapse your fucking rib cage. Ugh. Yeah, that was, man, every time I think back on that period, it's just more like, that was a rough fucking time.
Yeah, but yeah, like you can see why like I liked some wrestling back then, but then shit just went downhill from there somehow, and that's when I quit, and I haven't been back since.
Like, there's stuff I can think on from that period that's like, yeah, that was good stuff. Of like, the early Zack Ryder push before they decided to bury him with the Eve and the Kane stuff.
Yeah, I only saw the Kane stuff.
I mean,
I liked Team Hell No because it gave Brian something to do. He actually got a character, and then he decided that actually I'm not gonna wrestle.
I'm gonna be a gerbil.
Yeah. But for the duration of Team Hell No, like that was actually a time when Brian was actually likable. And Kane was also like Kane was there for character support. He didn't really wrestle good, but he was there to be like, hey, we're doing a character. That's character.
Well, back then, Daniel Bryan felt like actually some degree of underdog, whereas clearly there was a point that was hit. The nearer you get to WrestleMania 30, where Daniel Bryan has long passed underdog, where it is just, okay, what is transparently going on here is this guy is going to get a push. This guy is going to get world titles. The only reason he doesn't right now is because they're still teasing the fucking marks in the IWC that still think Vince hates little guys.
Yeah, Bryan went from underdog to up dog.
Yeah. Yeah, and every single time he got the belt, someone asked, "What's up, dog?"
Yeah.
Good Lord.
But yeah, like I like Team Hell No. I liked the Orton Christian feud.
Yeah.
Those yeah.
Orton around that time, I think, was pretty good. I mean, I don't think there's always the accusation made that Orton was lazy in that time, but even a lazy Orton is better than most.
Yeah. And I mean, like Orton, regardless of what Orton was doing, Christian solved that feud.
Yeah. That was, well, you're thinking 2011 because Orton versus Christian 2011. But
I don't know the one more match feud.
Yes, that was early 2011. That was kind of the lead off of WrestleMania 27 with Edge retiring.
Yeah.
2011 was also the time of Mark Henry, the World of Pain, the Hall of Pain run.
That sucked.
Yeah, I remember that. That was bad. Yes.
I was a big fan of it as a kid.
No.
He went out there and he ate people. He threw that technician guy to hell.
That technician deserved it.
That's one of my favorite WWE spots ever. Just because, like, it is transparently like some kind of abyss to hell that Mark throws that guy into. Like, the lighting guys did a wonderful job there of, like, literally, you see Mark throw that guy, and the guy just disappears into shadow.
No, Mark sent that guy to parts unknown.
He sent him to fucking Hades.
But yeah, like I don't have a nostalgia for the big stars of the era that I watched in, because the big stars were like, once again, Cena, Punk, Bryan, Orton. I guess I don't mind Orton.
I mean, Punk, we've said this before. None of us here are big Punk guys. Punk's there for if you're the dumbest fucking smart mark ever, right?
Yeah.
I love CM Punk, though.
If you still think the pipe bomb was a shoot, then you do not have much, like, thinking beyond, like, you do not think beyond the surface level.
But he was totally going to go back to Ring of Honor. What are you talking about?
And he's talking about ice cream bars. He mentioned Colt Cabana.
Yeah, exactly.
And nobody in WWE backstage cut the camera or the microphone because they died.
No, but they did cut the mic.
They did cut the microphone 11 minutes after 11 o'clock when the show was ending, you know?
Fuck me. Wrestling fans are dumb.
Yeah. But yeah, that's probably why I'm more attached to the mid-card guys. Cause I liked Christian. I liked Mysterio, even though he wasn't there. But and I liked Mysterio whenever I saw him. I didn't mind the Usos around that time, and then I learned quickly.
At that time, I was mystified why the Usos weren't tag champs.
And now we know.
I mean, 2011, who would have been tag champs? Kofi and Evan Bourne.
Yeah, their boom.
Oh, that was bad.
The New Day. Proto New Day.
Kind of, yeah. Oh, that sucked. I mean, like, I get, okay, the idea could fundamentally work of, okay, have Kofi work the match, and then Evan just comes in and does the shooting star press. But, like, still, oof.
Yeah.
Like, a team with no fucking personality.
I mean, Kofi, wasn't that still at the time where they were trying to pretend that Kofi is Jamaican?
No, that would have ended for several years by that point.
Kofi, I think they gave up Kofi being Jamaican during the Orton feud.
I think it might have been sooner.
Maybe, yeah, because it was
I
during
feel
the
like
time, it was when DX was running around that Triple H said, hey, Kofi, didn't you used to have an accent?
yeah. I think they dropped Kofi as a Jamaican when he dropped the U.S. title to the Miz back in 2009 or 2008, somewhere around there.
He stopped being Jamaican when he picked up the US title.
Yeah. That's how it works. That's why they're keeping the U.S. belt out of the hands of anyone other than Theory. If Sheamus or Gunther picked it up, they'd turn American and they'd lose all their charm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like weirdly enough, the era that I actually have the nostalgia for is like early Ruthless Aggression, because that's when a lot more of the guys that I'm aware of are still around, and I didn't see any of them wrestle. But hey, I know those people. Know of those people at least. Yeah.
I think the IWC, like, okay, there's a lot of great acts from the early Ruthless Aggression. There's Regal, there's Tajiri, there's there's whoever else. But I feel like the IWC is somewhat gaslit people into thinking the Ruthless Aggression was better than it was. Because a lot of the IWC grew up with the Ruthless Aggression, so it's nostalgic.
I mean
Yeah.
that's also just how fandom works. Like before this it was the Attitude Era was the best. Before that it was the 80s were the best. It's just whoever's currently in the like mid to late 20s.
Well, we hang around with two guys in particular that are like, the 80s were the best, bro.
Yeah.
And one of them is self-aware, the other is very not.
Yeah.
I mean, like, every time period has its good acts and its bad acts. Because I'll be telling you, 10 years from now, I'm going to be looking back on now, and I'm still going to be going, oh, Karrion Kross, what the fuck were they thinking?
Yeah.
And I'll still be going like, okay, Roman and Sammy were great, but boy, the Usos got carried.
Right.
Who's one guy that's on top right now that you think, looking back, is going to be like, what were we thinking? It's difficult to say. I mean, well, we'll definitely be looking back going, why did Asuka get the belt again?
Right.
Why did people get fooled that the clown makeup meant Asuka had changed when she hadn't? Dominic is going to be a weird one in the history books.
Yeah. Especially
He's already a weird one in the history books. By all accounts, he should have failed and been fired years ago.
Oh,
but
God,
now he's the best.
I mean, Dominic Mysterio is gonna be weird to look back on, considering that in like 10 years time he's gonna be a Rudo Rey Mysterio.
Well, Dom, if like the obvious thing here is to say, okay, Dom is just he's gonna be a flash in the pan. He's got heat because of the moment, but it'll pass, right?
Yeah.
But a year ago, we would have said Dom would have never got over as a heel to begin with.
Yeah.
So we can't predict this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to say because Dom, like, well, it's been a while. Like, okay, well, Dom can get heat, but his matches suck. But no, like, his match against Ray was fantastic. But it's like, okay, well, that's against his dad. But his match against Cody at Money in the Bank was also really good.
Yeah.
If memory serves, well, after that match, Mysterio actually retweeted someone putting up a picture of his old tweet saying that he's gonna beat up his kids.
Yeah.
That was the best.
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
Long-term storytelling.
Oh boy. So there was a segment I saw from a recent live event, a house show, that was somebody had filmed it on their phone. And it was, I guess, some kind of tag match or something. Dom and Damian and Rhea get in the ring. And Rhea starts, Dom and Damian are doing the usual posing thing, get up on the turnbuckle, throw up the hands, the whole deal. But Rhea starts getting really into the Judgment Day theme, and she starts like banging her head and jumping up and down. and she goes up and she shoulder tackles Damien because she's so not Damien, excuse me. She goes up and shoulder tackles Dominic because she's so hyped up, and
Yeah.
Dominic bumps over the top rope and out of the ring.
Nice. Speaking of the Judgment Day and looking back on people, if they give the title to Finn,
Dude,
like Finn is a very like weird one to really talk about, because as you said a couple of weeks ago, like Finn is really just a reflection of whoever he's facing. If he's facing someone who's good, then the match is good. If he's facing someone who's bad, the match is bad. But Finn is vacant. He is the actual real life wrestler vacant.
if they want to take the belt off Seth, which I'm not too certain they do, considering Seth's about to be in a Marvel movie, but if they want to take the belt off Seth, then the way to do it, and this may make God mad, but I don't care. The way to do it is have Finn continue this whole thing of Seth, you motherfucker, I'm gonna get revenge. I won the belt that night in 2016, but you cheated. You hurt my neck. You where I had to drop the belt. You fucker. And finally, Finn beats Seth. He gets his revenge. He gets the belt from Seth, and Damien cashes in. So Finn's second world title reign is also only a single night.
I love it.
That would just be too great.
That could be funny, yeah.
And like, you know, it would get some marks on the internet going, well, this isn't fair. Finn's earned a real world championship run. No, he really hasn't, bud. As a matter of fact, one could say he did earn a real world championship run, and he got 2 down in NXT. Like, if you want to see the glory days of Finn Balor, you don't look up main roster matches. You look up NXT, bud. Quite famously.
Yep.
Nonetheless.
Like I don't even know who else is on the main roster to be like, hey, that guy seems like they stink. Matt Riddle.
Oh God, Crack Smoker Supreme, yeah.
Like every time he comes up, I have to mention, I saw Matt Riddle. I saw he didn't wear footwear, and I went, this guy sucks, and I am vindicated.
I don't think I've ever done a 180 on a wrestler harder than Matt Riddle. Where I went from, oh, what a great athletic, talented guy, and he's so naturally likable, to fuck this guy, fire him immediately.
So naturally likable. I've always wanted to punch the guy. Just need to take a look at him.
Eddie, did you hear he's knocked up one of his porn star girlfriends now?
No.
I don't even know if it's the first porn star girlfriend or the porn star he cheated on the porn star with.
This is the third one.
Well, yeah, if it was a third porn star, then that would be even more funny. But then again, now he's sleeping with 2 porn stars, because that's what he took the picture of him, selfie of, is he's sleeping with 2 porn stars and saying, hey, live your life your way, bro. And it's just like, ugh.
But we can't fire Riddle because the foot fetishes.
Well, it's
What fetishists deserve to be unhappy? So
I
let's
agree. I agree, but at the same time, WWE might not.
like, okay, we got Gunther to beat him. I wish Gunther would have killed him even faster, but I'll take the insult that Gunther beat him with a move that isn't even one of Gunther's finishes. How often do you see that in WWE? He beat him with a move that isn't even his finish.
I hope it
You
was.
don't say that at all.
I hope it was just some random ass normal move, like it was just a knee lift.
Okay, so
Arm
Addy,
drag 6.
Yes, it is the Spanish one.
yeah,
Mexican arm drag.
Gunther's ordinary finishes are the sleeper hold, which he calls the Gojira clutch, or at least he did it on the indies. He didn't call it in WWE because holy shit. The lariat, the power bomb. Does he have any other finishes, Pink? Or is that just his 3?
Just the 3 that I'm aware of.
Gunther beat Riddle with a Achilles stretch.
Ah.
Yeah.
I mean,
A move that, when anyone else does it, is just a working hold, but Gunther beat him with it.
I mean, he was attacking his weak spot.
The weak spot of every foot fetishist.
Yes.
God, could you imagine how disgusting that would have to be throwing the Achilles stretch on a barefoot guy?
Yeah.
Nonetheless, yeah. Can we get when Orton comes back? Can Orton just immediately run in and RKO Riddle and then just punt him 5 times?
Thought you were gonna say when Orton returns, can Orton just immediately shit in Riddle's bag?
Well, yeah. Forget
That's
that.
it.
Shit in Riddle's crack pipe.
Yeah, that's a directive from the fucking CEO.
Yeah. Nick Khan ordered this?
Yeah. For some reason.
Okay. Yeah, that's yeah, that oh god. I mean, like, okay. Which is better? Orton punts him 5 times, and just like in the WWE games, every time he goes for the punt, Riddle, no matter how annihilated his skull is, still manages to get up on all fours to take the punt. Or Orton just starts punting Riddle while he's prone.
He always gets up. But on the 5th punt, we get a Mortal Kombat X-ray cutaway.
Like, and every time Orton goes to the corner and does the stupid little taunt where he's hanging onto the ropes.
Yeah.
Oh god.
In at least one of them, his pet fighting bugs out and he kicks the air, but Riddle still sells it.
Yeah.
But like
he does that
yeah.
shit Fire Pro did with Vince's people's elbow once in that video, where Orton runs all the way up to Riddle, then somehow does a 180 and kicks the air behind him.
Yeah. Although I'd also just be fine with replicating one of the bugs in 2K22, where he do the whole startup, Riddle gets in position. He then runs at Riddle and then just takes a step to the side and kicks the air to the side.
Okay. Orton does the punt, but rather than doing any of the punts he did in real life or in the 2K or SmackDown vs. Raw games, Orton does
the Fire Pro punt.
Orton does the WWE All-Stars punt.
Ah. I thought you were gonna say he does the penalty kick.
Did any of you guys ever see what the Orton punt looks like in All-Stars?
Probably, but I've forgotten
remember it.
Okay. So ordinarily, when Orton does the punt in real life or in the realistic simulation games, he kicks the side of the head, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That way he can pretty safely miss and have the opponent, kind of roll with the kick and it's safe. In WWE All-Stars, Orton runs at them straight head on and punts them fully in the top of the skull, crumpling in the neck and sending them flying.
Ah.
There is no safe way to take that, and it is funny as hell every time it happens in All-Stars.
Alright, speaking of All-Stars, alright. Orton does the punt. It sends Riddle flying. Orton does a juggle combo. It ends in the RKO.
Into the RKO.
Yeah.
But first, he makes sure to do that little combo from All-Stars of jab, jab, uppercut, uppercut, RKO.
Yeah.
He may or may not throw in the Andre the Giant stomp the ground for a ground bounce as well. Oh, good lord. 2K Battlegrounds was a fucking insult.
Yes. My favorite bit of 2K Battlegrounds was when they put it on PS Plus, and the people were taking Sony, yo, 2K Battlegrounds doesn't run.
Oh, God.
Like,
the decision of, okay, we need to add women. Okay, well, we don't have the balls to make the women big and muscular like we do the guys. So 2K Battlegrounds, instead of having everyone look like action figures, is going to have everyone look like bobbleheads?
Yeah.
And rather than giving everyone unique movesets and playstyles like we did in All-Stars, we're really just going to make like 4 movesets and playstyles and spread them out across everybody. Because nobody wants to sit down and make a full, proper moveset and playstyle for I don't know, Alexander Wolf, because we made the decision to have the whole modern roster on rather than just the highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, the highlights like Jimmy Snuka.
Like you can you can look at 2K Battlegrounds, and 2K Battlegrounds is so bizarre compared to All Stars. Because All Stars made sure to only get the highlights off the 2010 roster. There's no primo there. But then Battlegrounds, you can pop it in and you can play as goddamn like Luke Gallows. Nobody wants to pop in All Stars and play Luke fucking Gallows. Maybe some people would want to pop in and play Carl Anderson, but they'd be wanting to play Japanese Carl Anderson, not American.
Yeah.
I mean, that depends. Is it Carl Anderson before or after he stole the Never Openweight Championship?
Yeah.
Or during?
I just had a stupid idea. You know, in some Zelda games, if you steal something from a store, your save file is permanently renamed to Thief.
I think so.
I did not know that.
Carl Anderson going forward after that gets billed forever as Thief.
Yeah.
And Link's Awakening in a particular, if you steal an item, not only does your save file get renamed to Thief, but if you ever enter a store again, the shopkeeper shoots lightning out of his hands like Palpatine, and it kills you instantly. Which means, by all means, the shopkeepers should be the real heroes of Hyrule, going out and stopping Ganondorf. They're just fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It can't even be greed that motivates them, because you can make way more money killing Ganondorf than you ever could owning a shop.
Definitely.
Like, I'm imagining they kill Ganon at the end, and they sprint right past Zelda going, hey! Straight into, like, whatever money pit that Ganon has, and they just dive in like Scrooge.
Yeah.
Except it's rupees.
Yeah.
It is optional whether or not they do the Peter Griffin thing of dying when they hit the rupees.
We need a new Zelda game that's started by Morshu.
I mean, I see. Okay, there was once upon a time I saw a group of YouTubers who I enjoy watching. They played Among Us, right?
Yeah.
And one of them, rather than directly speaking in the calls like we did in Among Us, he instead had a soundboard set up of sentence mixed Morshu. And he was going into these Among Us sessions. And I know that Addy's hatred for Among Us must be real if I can't get him to pop with Morshu. But he was going into these Among Us sessions and having Morshu say, I'm with Wayne. It wasn't me. I think he is sus. And people get like, Morshu, how does he have enough sounds that people can just make Morshu say anything?
There's like, I want to say 20-some or unique sounds in the English language. As long as there's enough base audio featuring those sounds, as in like at least one instance of Morshu using those sounds, you can mix anything.
Oh man, it's been too long since I've listened to a YouTube poop or an AI president's meme. You gotta appreciate that the AI president's memes have now developed their own, like, have developed the presidents into like a cast of characters with like a consistent like dichotomy, right?
Yeah.
You always got, because there's Obama, and Obama's supposed to be usually the normal straight one. If there's any jokes about him, it's usually either jokes about weed, Michelle being wearing the pants in the relationship, or bombing villages in Yemen. One of those jokes is a little more hardcore than the others. I'm gonna go ahead and say.
It's Michelle having depends in the relationship.
Bush is usually somewhere between being a goofy oaf and alternatively, and I'm always a big fan when they do this with Bush, having him be the fashionable stylized one because he's the one with the teenage daughters, right? Never mind the fact that Obama also had teenage daughters. It's funnier for Bush to be the one who's in the know, right? Especially with the Texan accent.
Yeah.
Biden is just completely clueless and does not know what planet he's on,
He's in his own little world.
which is not too inaccurate.
Oh.
And Donald Trump is just Eric Cartman from South Park, which is again not too inaccurate.
I mean, the only inaccurate part of Trump being Cartman is that Trump is not fat yet.
No, Trump. Have you seen a picture of Trump?
Not outside of a suit, no.
Because by all means, Trump is not Cartman level fat, where he's like, his gut extends well past his head on his sides. But Trump is fat. Trump. Have you seen the pictures of Trump from the side profile?
No.
Trump has made sure that there are very few pictures out there of him standing from a side profile, because Trump specifically stands in this weird duck ass way where he is like, I don't want to say twerking, but Trump stands in a specific way where he stands with like his ass and his hips back and his torso projected forwards to try and make himself look skinnier.
I see.
Make himself look bigger.
Trump's always throwing it back for the boys.
Yeah. Yes. Some of the things these people do. It's like Kim Il-sung, right? Always made sure that there was pictures taken from his right side instead of his left side because he had a monstrously sized either goiter or tumor growing on the back left of his neck. And there were a couple pictures they were able to sneak it in, and that thing is not right.
I thought you were gonna say, "Oh, no, those cameramen are dead," which they are, definitely are.
Yes, they very are. But so is Kim Il-sung. So in the end, they're all dead idiots.
Yeah,
anyway.
but I mean, this isn't a new development though. Like people of some form of power, just being vain about their appearance. Like, you don't need to go far from America. Scarface.
I don't think it was really known that FDR was in a wheelchair until after his death.
Yeah. I mean, didn't he just like force himself to stand?
Leg braces. He used leg braces. There was I want to say, okay, no. Michael Bay in the stupid Pearl Harbor movie he made had FDR stand out of sheer willpower. Because in case you haven't watched Michael Bay's Pearl Harbor, that movie is patriotism bait.
I see.
And nothing says patriotism bait like FDR having the willpower of Dr. fucking Doom.
The spirit of America.
Like I'm not an expert on the impediments that FDR was facing, but I'm willing to bet if he tried that in real life, he would have either blown his quads or his knees.
Yeah.
Along similar lines, JFK put in a lot of work, or rather JFK's cabinet put in a lot of work to hide the fact that JFK was, for one thing, in a back brace 24/7, and for another thing, doped up 24/7.
Yeah.
Because JFK's physical state was something of an abomination against God because of some injuries he'd taken in his youth. And he was constantly either in extraordinary pain to the point that he could not operate, or doped up so much that he could not operate that way either. No wonder the guy was fucking constantly drowning in hose.
Yeah. I mean, JFK, like I saw a video recently about his funeral procession, and then just the stuff that conspired where the Texas State and the FBI nearly had a shootout, shit like that.
Oh, good lord! Anytime there's an overlap between investigated, like World War I was started by overlaps between investigations and disagreements over investigations. One of the most world-changing events was started because, like, what was it? Austria and Lithuania could not agree over who should be in charge of investigating the assassination of Franz Ferdinand. What? It wasn't Lithuania, was it?
I
Where
don't
was Franz
remember.
Ferdinand assassinated?
Franz Ferdinand was assassinated in. It's not.
It's under us. It's under Hungary.
smaller-
But
Was it? It wasn't Austria, because
no,
wait, it was. I should know this.
I
I'm
think
gonna Google this real quick.
yeah.
I
I-
need to know. It's on the tip of my tongue.
I think he was either killed in or the place that he was killed in. Its capital is Sarajevo, but
I'm looking up Franz Ferdinand. Oh god damn it! It first brought up the band.
I was about to say he made the hit song Michael.
Okay, yes, he was.
And Take Me Out. Yeah.
He was killed in Sarajevo, which at that point was part of Bosnia and Herzegovina, which at that point was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Ah.
And he was born in Styria in Austria. Okay, so he was Austrian and he died in Bosnia Herzegovina. Okay. Oh, good lord, Wikipedia has a picture of his jacket with his blood still all over it.
Nice.
Shit. But Wikipedia does not have the famous painting of him getting shot in the head.
They do, however, have a link to the reconstruction game.
Oh boy. They killed his wife too? Nobody talks about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't it a thing of like the guy who was supposed to kill him, just missed the time, and then he was like, "Fuck it, I give up." He went to eat somewhere, and then he walks in through the door.
Well, it was.
No, they were walking down the street that he was eating in.
A parade, but he missed the first time. Went to a cafe to eat a sandwich, and while he's in the cafe eating the sandwich, he sees that the parade had come back around, and he like scrambles out with the sandwich in his mouth and shoots Franz Ferdinand in the face. Which, like, of all the things to see before you get shot in the face, Franz Ferdinand, you see some guy charge out of a cafe, half-eaten sandwich in one hand, pistol in the other.
Man, that's a curious enemy protagonist, said Franz Ferdinand. This is less words.
Well, I'm either getting the gun or the sandwich. Personally, I'm hoping for the sandwich.
Yeah. Can we make this? Can we make this a world headcanon that Franz Ferdinand just got isekai'd? he went to story Dragon Quest.
Fucking bullshit!
Well, I think we've hit just about everything.
Yeah, probably.
Somehow, someway, wrestling led to the assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife.
You certainly went places.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking I might want to put together a fake cover of that movie. Have any of you guys ever seen the cover of the movie, The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop there then. The joke won't be funny.
All right. I don't know why is Franz Ferdinand just such a recurring topic on this channel.
It's a good question. It's only one of the most important events in history.
I mean, true, but I don't hear Franz Ferdinand reference this much on other channels.
That's because other channels talk about poop.
Do you think they were playing Take Me Out at the parade?
Yeah.
It's the only logical conclusion to jump to.
Oh no, they're weed eating the front lawn.
The local potheads came.
All right, drop everything. Gog says Stephen Amell's going to be at Raw.
He's there to feud with Neville again.
Feud with who?
Neville.
Neville, okay.
It's not the wrong show for that.
Yeah.
I hope he shows up and he's like, "Where's the guy?"
Hey, Cody, where'd all your friends go?
Yeah. Cody looks into the camera, like straight into it, crying.
It only just now was Stephen Amell not canonically a member of the Bullet Club for a time in the same way that Dennis Rodman was canonically a member of the NWO?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I think if you look up Bullet Club on Wikipedia, Stephen Amell is a listed member. Hang on, I'm pulling it up. Hang on, I just accidentally typed Bullet Club. Okay, Bullet Club. Let's see, members. Oh, good lord, there are so many different Bullet Club teams now.
Yeah, always were.
Because we got Japanese Bullet Club, we got the House of Torture, we've got Bullet Club Gold in AEW, we have Bullet Club ABC in Impact, and we have Bullet Club Australia.
In WWE.
Ew.
I like this idea that Bullet Club Australia is made up of AJ Styles and Carl Anderson and the other one.
I'm also going to go ahead and say this because it would make some people really mad. They also should count the OC Club.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which would canonically still have the members of Liv Morgan and Mia Yim. And if you get upset about that, then I'm just going to say it louder.
Absolutely.
I mean, look, can you be that angry at Liv Morgan when David Finlay? There's no end to that sentence. That kind of is just a sentence.
Yeah, that it's a bit awkward. Honestly, well, you got to keep in mind also David Finlay's dad trained Liv.
So it's in the family.
Yeah.
The Bullet Club is actually just a big front for Finlay's family.
Okay. Liv and David Finlay fight over who becomes the leader of the Bullet Club. And Liv
I thought you were gonna say they fight over who's Finlay's child.
Okay. So do you remember the build up to WrestleMania 39?
No.
How Roman was saying, I spent more time with Dusty than you did, Cody. He's prouder of me in heaven than he is of you. Have them do that, and in the background you can hear Fit Finlay yelling, "I'm not dead!"
Yeah. Really, this whole thing is just a setup to reveal that the Bullet Club's real leader is Hornswoggle.
Oh God! Again, not much of a downgrade, really.
No.
Like, it always bears mentioning that the membership, you can track, like, the leaders went from, okay, Finn Balor, Prince Devitt, okay, not a huge star, but he became a star by being the leader of the group, and he kind of made them stars, so that makes sense. AJ Styles, one of the biggest legends in wrestling history. Kenny Omega, we don't like him, but he is a star.
I mean, no, I'd say we he's good at marketing himself. I'll give him that.
We don't like him, but he is a star. If there was to be a dream headline match, a dream headline crossover between WWE and AEW, would the headline match not be Roman versus Kenny?
I mean, I fucking hate that match.
Yes, I could not think of a match that would make Addy more mad. But would that not be the case?
Probably.
Pink, you've been paying the most attention to wrestling over the last 10 years.
Absolutely. You know, none of us here like him, but Kenneth Omega is the star in this situation. And who else are they going to throw at us? Hangman Adam Page?
Oh, good
The
lord.
Young Bucks, really? Honestly? Come on now. Let's not get silly here.
Like, other than that, the big stars at AEW are probably mostly guys Roman's fought before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the fourth leader.
I mean, we all know that the biggest story in AEW is Chris Jericho.
Oh, God. Okay, yes, Stephen Amell was a member of the Bullet Club from November of 2017 to September of 2018.
Nice.
Haku was a member of the Bullet Club from January of 2016 to July of 2018.
Haku should be the real leader of the Bullet Club. Then they would actually have something to fear.
Okay. Now here is a question. I'm curious if you guys can guess who this is. Who was the first female member of Bullet Club?
Kelly. Go for the wild ones.
I'm
Hank,
scared
you
to
got-
answer this question. I'm scared to find out the answer.
Who is your guess, Pink?
I'm going to play it safe and say, who was semi-relevant and who is Kenny Omega's weird 12-year-old daughter thing?
Okay. No. But I can't tell if you're talking about the little girl he wrestled or Riho.
That
Both.
one.
Okay. So I actually, when I first saw I found one woman who has been in the Bullet Club earlier than who I thought. So
the person that you thought was Mercedes Mon?
no, okay. The earliest at first when I was looking, the earliest female member of the Bullet Club was Brandy Rhodes.
Ah, nice.
But there is one woman who has been in the Bullet Club longer. Luke Gallows' wife, Amber O'Neil.
Ah,
Who?
Exactly.
Isn't that the character from TMNT?
I'm gonna be real here. I think Liv Morgan and Mia Yim are both a bit more impressive Bullet Club members than that.
yeah.
I'd have to agree.
By the way, Scott Norton was a member of the Bullet Club for a day. I
Why'd
don't
they kick him out?
know story is there.
He wanted to check it out, but what he realized it wasn't his thing.
Well, I mean, like, there's legacy there because Scott Norton was one of the most famous members of NWO Japan, but like, I didn't even know Scott Norton was still involved. I guess Scott Norton would still be involved in wrestling. We just wouldn't hear about it because he was way more over in Japan than in the States.
Yeah.
Like, he probably still makes Legends appearances for New Japan, but nobody here in the States really cares. Yeah. Anyways, I'd say we're probably good to wrap things up here.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Addy? Addy? Addy?
Bye.